Noisy Pixel.
Atlus is known for its re-releases, which add new scenarios and various balances to their older titles. So it wasn't much of a surprise when Persona 5 Royal was announced as an updated version of Persona 5. If you were worried that this would just be a simple remaster though, I'm here to put that to rest, because Persona 5 Royal is not only the best version of Persona 5, but it might just be one of my favourite JRPGs of all time. Persona 5 Royal plays identically to the original game in that you have to manage your time working on your confidants, to attain helpful perks and skills whilst getting the Phantom Thieves physically prepared to take down their current targets. There have been a multitude of quality of life updates, with less essential skills being buffed for more versatility, such as the passive insta-kill now giving you experience, or the gun customization shop allowing players to upgrade all of their weaponry instead of just a select few guns. On top of this, there are 3 new confidants, you'll find new and updated minigames, more shops with time-limited wares, and a jazz club. Once you're done hanging out, it's time to enter the metaverse, which is where the combat happens. You can either enter a palace, a building formed from someone's distorted desires, or mementos, the culmination of humanity's desires. Completing palaces advances the plot, whilst venturing into mementos allows you to complete side quests and change the hearts of smaller targets. Within these locations, you'll find shadows, manifestations of human desire and emotion, which function as your monsters. Persona 5 Royal's combat loop is functionally the same as the original, at a base level. You summon your persona to use a variety of skills and destroy your foes, and in typical Shin Megami Tensei fashion, you'll be throwing out status ailments, buffs, debuffs, and of course blasting enemies with attacks that exploit weaknesses. Anything to get a leg up in a fight. Royal has added a few extra tweaks to better the combat system. Fancy new combination attacks called Showtimes will have your allies teaming up to pull off crazy moves that are both fun and practical.
Got him! All yours!
Time to go full power! Yeah!
Here!
Guns now regenerate all expended bullets after each battle, preventing them from being lost to the potion hoarding syndrome. And baton passes have been buffed, as pulling them off consecutively will boost the power of the receiver, rewarding skilled crowd control play. All of your personas and teammates now have an additional trait, which is a passive skill which can have a variety of effects. Whilst your party members are limited to just one signature persona, your protagonist, as always, has several at their disposal. But they'll get outclassed quickly and you'll need to make stronger ones. This is where the Velvet Room comes in, a lovely little place in between dimensions, where the long-nosed guide Igor will assist you in fusing your persona together to create stronger ones. The previously mentioned traits can now be inherited by a new persona as well as skills. Also, new alarms will give you opportunities to get rarer skills and new to Royal accessories, which will provide whichever party member equipped them a relevant skill. To help you get used to all these new features and have some extra fun along the way are the challenge battles. These are new fights in the Velvet Room with kick-ass music that will score you on your performance and give out beneficial rewards. The developers seem to have listened intently to complaints about dungeon design in the original game, because I don't have any criticism for them now. The dungeons are more streamlined versions of the ones in the original games, cutting out a lot of flack and simplifying areas that people didn't like. This includes the boss fights, which have new and fun gimmicks that are both story relevant and make them more interactive, without forcing you to play them a particular way. The dungeons have been altered just enough to make both a newbie or a veteran enjoy them, with a fancy new grappling hook that allow you to access sections where players can discover alternate paths of hidden rooms full of rewarding will seeds. Collecting all 3 within a palace will turn them into an accessory with a very useful ability. Once you've completed the palace, you can bring this accessory to Josei, a strange child who drives around mementos drinking flowers. Don't question it. Jose will buff them into powerful items that give you even more options with your team composition. Royal continues the trend of Atlus re-releases, adding a cute new protagonist with the addition of Kasumi Yashizawa, a gymnast who transfers to the protagonist's school around the same time as they did. The good thing here is that Royal almost seamlessly integrates each new face into the story. Old scenes that were previously unvoiced are now voiced, or have been reworked with new lines to make them better, and pre-existing set pieces are presented in a more appealing manner. Also, additional scenes have been added for cast members who were somewhat lacking in screen time. The game's voice actors pull off stellar performances all around, which adds so much to the game's numerous powerful scenes. Persona 5 Royal now has a new story arc as well, which is absolutely impeccable. It ramps up the stakes and capitalizes upon the investments that you've put into your relationships throughout the 100-hour-long game. It gave me exactly what I wanted for some characters that I really liked, and solidified them as some of my franchise favorites. Persona 5 Royal is everything I wanted out of a re-release. The game's style and charm shine brightest in this version, as it already made a great game even better. The balances and new additions are based on long-time fan criticisms, and it's evident the developers used it as a foundation to update this adventure, while still throwing in some much-needed quality of life changes that I didn't know the game required. I had an absolute blast donning the mask once more and going on heists with the Phantom Thieves. I'm positive you will too. Noisy Pixel is giving Persona 5 Royal a 10 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. Noisy Pixel is a group dedicated to bringing you guys the best news, reviews, previews, and more. Please subscribe if you haven't already and ring that little bell to stay up to date on all of our future content. Hey, did you guys know that Persona 1 has a manga adaptation? It's really good. You should read it. This is a statement that will only benefit your experience with Persona 5 Royal. No, I'm serious.